Colombian newspaper archives from February 1980 show a father and son were panning for gold along Fly Creek near Amboy, Washington, when they found bones and called 911.
That area still is very rural today, but back in 1980, it still was a smaller area. So for somebody to go missing, generally the local area, even outside of missing from Portland, were documented pretty decently. So it was big news at that time.
The news said the remains were of a teenage girl who'd been killed by homicidal violence. Over the years, investigators made facial reconstructions but weren't able to ID the remains.
To remain a Jane Doe for 40 years.
Fast forward to this year, Clark County asked DNA technology company Parabon Nanolabs to step in. Parabon used the DNA and made trait predictions to come up with this profile of what the victim may have looked like. They used genetic genealogy, sent a DNA profile to a public database, and found family members.
We're trying to use the family trees from those sharing the DNA with the victim to reverse engineer her family tree.
Detectives reached out and a woman told them her cousin, Sandra Morden, went missing in the 70s. She gave them her own DNA sample, and bingo.
It's an accomplishment.
Fly Creek Jane Doe was Sandra.
Is to give her justice and to try and work our investigation back to find out exactly what happened to her.
We feel it's incredibly important for everyone to get their name back. Everyone deserves to be buried with an identity, and all families deserve resolution and some type of closure.
Sandra's parents divorced in the early 70s. They're both dead now. Detectives believe Sandy was in and out of the foster care system, but don't know where she was living when she went missing. So investigators want to hear from anyone who knew her or her family at all.
That there are people within our community that remember Sandra, that remember Andrew, which is her dad, or even knew her mom, which was Irene. We know that they were rooted in this area for quite a few years.